Hello, my name is Thomas, and I will be playing Sir Edrich of Winterbourne, Stoke, Marshal of Salisbury, and Baron of Vagon.
Hello, I am Mark, aka That Gets Me Out, and this week I will be playing Sir Florence, Baron of the Axe, Lord of Idmiston, and current, I want to say Lord Commander of Wales.
Oh, according to Rebecca, we are all muted.
All of us?
We're not. Yeah, just not Bob.
Ah, gotcha, just not Bob. There you go.
I could hear Thomas for sure, and I'm watching an ad now, so. Ooh, realistic battlefield simulation. I love when an AI writes and voices an ad.
Ah, God.
Yeah, isn't that wonderful? Fun times.
We're living in
Good
excellent,
fun.
cool stuff.
Game
Yeah.
good. Play.
Bob, will you say something? I just want to.
Yeah, I had to
Check it
adjust
out.
it. It's good now. It won't have been prior. So
Okay.
we're live. Welcome back to Salisbury Anarchy. We're going to continue on with the year 506. We're going to quickly do our introductions. I think Thomas, yours would have went through. It would have just been me that people couldn't hear. So we'll go to Mark next.
Hello, I'm Mark, aka That Gets Me Out, and today I'll be playing Sir Florence of Idmiston, Baron of the Axe, and Lord Commander of Wales, hearing to help the peaceful takeover of Somerset by the wonderful and noble Cornish. So ready to do some conquering.
And your BFF, Prince Mark.
Exactly, my best friends forever. Can't wait till he's king.
Yeah.
Just can't wait.
Right. Liam.
Hi, everybody. I'm Liam. I'm playing Lord Baron Marshal, undisputed Marshal of. No, wait, hang on. Let's take this again. Hi, everybody. I'm Liam. I'm playing. Shit, God. I'm very excited,
man.
I know. I'm very excited for tonight's game. Baron Virgil, undisputed Baron of Devices, is gonna kick some ass. I'm gonna have a great time with it, as always.
Indeed. All right. And so far, 506 is shaping up to be a very different year than 505 because there's been no call to muster and we're moving into the summertime.
Boo!
Yeah. So we're going to have some choices,
Do a
friends.
war.
Yeah. What are, who do we want to start with? Let's start with you, Edrich. We'll just go left to right. It's going to be one of those years. Yeah. I just want to note that I was watching Eric Vulgaris' stream earlier today, and one of the player characters lost their wife and child in a childbirth role, and the amount of things that shifts and changes, and hearing them talk about, like, that's what Pendragon's all about. I'm like, I kind of agree, you know, like the campaign, the big overarching campaign's like the big piece, and then we're zooming in on the lives of these individuals and watching these things like take huge curveballs and completely define the characters. So
Change a character. Yeah, you're right.
Indeed.
I think we should have Thomas lose more family in game.
he'd have to have more family to lose more family.
That's true.
Hey, I've got a wife and kids. There is an option of her dying in childbirth, and it's not
Don't
going to go
even
well for Edrich.
Don't even speak that into the universe. Virgil will have to put you down, man. Your madness you'll never recover.
No. It'd be like a bizarre version of Sir Jaren, but like the roving midwife.
I didn't factor in the Thomas manual zoom that happens. Hold on, let me just do this. No, you're good. You're good. There you go. There. It's all set up. I don't mind it at all. It's wherever people feel comfortable. There we go. Say it how you want, man. This is your life.
I'm just going to
Okay.
sit over to the side.
Right? We'll call you Half Mark.
Yeah.
Okay, so Edrich, it's summertime, years 506. Maybe we'll start with either let's do intrigue because there's more rumors.
Absolutely.
If you'd prefer diplomacy, you can, but there's no special bonus. It's just if you have a higher diplomacy than intrigue, feel free to take it. I don't think anyone does.
Yeah, my diplomacy is good, but it's not as high as my intrigue.
Yeah, go with the higher of the two in this case because there's no specialty. I guess the advantage is if you want to tick diplomacy, you can test that instead of intrigue.
Critical
Alright.
intrigue.
All three of you can do this, by the way.
Starting off with a critical is not bad.
Indeed. Let's hope it's a good omen and not me using it up.
Okay.
All right.
Everyone's got a bit of info. So the big thing about let's go around the map a little bit, shall we? Let's go around the map.
Absolutely. I will get my note-taking fingers ready.
Okay, here we go. This is the map. Despite what you might think, this is indeed the map. Okay, so let's start with Escavalon. General knowledge, since you all passed, and you can tick intrigue if you don't have it ticked already. You probably all do because we've been through a feast and a session. Yeah. But Escavalon has called for a muster in the city of Glevum this year.
That's good for us.
Kind of.
The where they're going to attack isn't clear, but most rumors lean towards Cornwall, or towards occupied Somerset, Cornwall. Nothing big in Dorset that's worth noting. In Wessex, there has been no particular movement, though a letter has leaked to, we'll say this is general knowledge, letters leaked that Cerdic has called for allies from the mainland, mercenaries.
Oh, brother. You'd think they had enough Saxons.
No, not enough. They lost last time.
We'll cluster in Chief Port there. It sounds like Silchester in Sussex's alliance is degrading a little bit now. They still have a mutual defense pact, but that's about as far as it goes.
Oh no, the situation has been made worse by the inclusion of yet more Saxons.
Not too much going on in the realm of Kent other than they continue to jointly occupy London. Essex, their big change you're very aware of because Aceman died last year and his son, what's his son's name? Do you remember? You knighted him, Thomas.
Sled?
Sled, there we go. Sled is now
Sir
king.
Sled.
Yeah, Sir Sled, the king. Yeah, king of Essex.
The King Sled.
No, it'd be Sir Sled, king of Essex, or King Sled. Yeah. Actually, I think for everyone up till Duke, that tends to be how they do it. But yeah, anyways, certainly for barons, it tends to be Sir whatever and then Baron of. But King Quichelm, there's been no news there other than the hostilities between the Angles and Essex has seemed to lessen over the year.
Where is this?
This is the Angles. So the Angles in Essex are no longer. Remember, there was some sort of animosity between the Angles and the Saxons prior. Seems that's going down a bit, much to people's probably dismay or concern.
They'll
Lindsay's
amalgamate and become Anglo-Saxons. That'll never catch on.
Lindsay's concentration appears to be mostly in the north at this point. Though there's been some bargaining apparently between Lindsay and the Angles. Probably just trade, people think, since Corneus isn't exactly friends with Saxons. And Corneus has an active alliance with Nanteleod. That much is known. So if you go across the map, Nanteleod kind of runs pretty much everything from all the way over to Estragales to kind of up to Lindsay in a diagonal line.
Indeed.
Yes. And
Cuts
Norgales...
the continent in two.
Exactly. Norgales is still lacking like a proper lord because Pellinor is still absent. His younger brother Lameric died in a war a few years back, defending it against the Cadlus. And the youngest remaining son Pellis has his own kingdom of Listinus, who Liam's other characters met in this time. So that is the realm as you know it today. I don't think there's too much to add. You're aware of everything else that's been happening, but we'll go to the
Is there anything much going on north of the wall, if we will?
North of the wall. Okay. Yes. They say that King Lot has been actively sort of reorganizing the north. Whatever that means.
I worry about King Lot constantly.
Yeah. Many fear that he's not so unaware of what's happening down south. We'll go a little bit further for Thomas with those crits. So the crit on intrigue, you know that King Lot and his wife Morgause attended the Duchess of Glevum's marriage or wedding this fall. So the Duchess married a baron of near Lambor, effectively, near the edge of Forest Sauvage. Married that baron in a matrilinear marriage, so she retains Duke Eldol's birthright through her bloodline. The other thing you get for that crit, Thomas, is King Cadwy is kind of missing in action as far as everyone is declared, and your scouts tell you that, and reports tell you that like almost all of Somerset is completely covered in a dense fog, making any army movements basically behind a fog of war for everyone involved. And I'll give you one final piece because you crit on that. It looks like Nanteleod's army has set itself marching south towards Bristol, towards the Great Bridge, the capital of Summerland that sits on the other side of the river.
Understood. So not going through Bath, but going, or rather, are they going through Caerwent or going through Bath to Bristol?
No, Bristol is, they'll be marching from Glevum to Bristol.
Gotcha. Very cool. All right, nice. Thank you so much.
Which was the seat of Cadwy, known as Great Bridge. And it's effectively like one of those things where it's like a tower, bridge, tower. That's the structure of the castle.
The two towers?
It has 2 towers, like a peasant.
Right. I'm assuming that's what it is because it's called Great Bridge. It makes sense to me. So I don't
Probably a
know
big
if
bridge
that's
there.
yeah. It's
One
true.
imagines.
One might say. Okay, so that is the update. The roam around the map. Now let's dive into some actual details now, shall we? Thomas, it is summertime. What would you like to do, my friend?
The last time Edrich acted, it was a pretty successful sortie against a number of monsters and demons in the woods. There are some matters at home he would like to attend to, but this global political view has made him interested with a certain number of things. He's worried about the Saxons of Wessex, he's worried about Silchester and Sussex, and he's worried about the upcoming war in Cornwall. I don't know that there'll be much of a scene with me preparing What's-His-Face to potentially take up the lid of Baronhood in the Wearside 100. But I think I'd like to meet with some of the agents of King Nanteleod, specifically perhaps Elaine, who might be in Salisbury. Mostly because he's
Yes.
paranoid about Lot.
You can meet with Elaine. He is here.
I would love
He's stationed here. All right. Roll a d10 for me, sir.
Let's do it. 7.
Okay. Fair enough. You make it to Salisbury without... I'm assuming you're going there?
Yes.
You make it to Salisbury without any sort of complications. And you find Elaine within the court of the Earl Robert.
Indeed. I think making an appropriate time with all of the courtesies, he will find Sir Elaine, who I believe is he the heir to Escavalon? Or the heir to something else? I know he's the heir to something important. Doesn't matter. But I would like to organize a meeting with him and speak to him with all due courtesy.
Okay. You are kind of able to find him within one of the, we'll say like one of the, what do you call those, courtyards? There we go. You find him in one of the many courtyards of Salisbury, of Sarum.
Good afternoon, Sir Elaine. I hope the day finds you well.
So Edrich, how fares the armies of Salisbury? I trust that everything is being refit and readied for future times of war against the Saxons.
They are indeed, and Wessex is making moves which indicates they are like to attack. But we are ready. Armors being refitted, men being trained up, and despite some losses we have taken in sorties against monsters in the woods, I believe those that remain are bloodied and competent. It is hard to find people with experience nowadays, and it must be found in ways less than totally lethal. But I hear, much in the same way, that Escavalon is preparing itself for battle as well. I had a few questions, especially with what my agents have told me about Somerset these days.
Very well. And if I can be of assistance, I most certainly will be.
From what has been said to me by travelers passing through, and indeed my own scouts in the region, the land is blanketed with a thick fog that blinds all those entering it. Is it wise, perhaps, to have it be the seat of a potential battle, given how difficult it will be for both armies to find their way around it? While a disadvantage both sides lack is no great sin, it is still more risky than one imagines.
He looks at you and studies you for a minute. He seems to give a slight nod. Because I'm not terribly certain if you were of age at the time, Sir Edrich, but it seems that your men of Salisbury would know this more than anyone. But when they invaded Summerland, there are many tales of the chaos that was found there before Uther and Cadwy came to their agreement, whatever that might be.
I was but a squire then, and I remember hearing stories from my sire, and indeed my cousin. We had the superior numbers, and we were better armed and armored, and even then it was costly. A force of equivalent might facing each other, with the fog serving no one, is going to be interesting, to be sure.
Quite so. What I can say is that King Nanteleod is a battlefield tactician, and if I can see such things and you can see such things, and he will too see such things.
Indeed. In Edric's mind, he's thinking, oh, he would absolutely love to go through Salisbury, wouldn't he? But Edric will say, indeed so. And I do wish the forces of Nanteleod good fortune in that. I had another motive in coming here and speaking to you, and though you are placed in Salisbury for now, did you attend the... let me look it up. Did you attend the Duchess of Glevham's marriage this last fall?
I was not able to attend, no. It was actually just this spring now. I was here instead. But I would have gladly if I was offered such things. I was present at the groom's knighting ceremony.
Indeed so. I express my apologies, such as they are, that you were kept from it by your duties. But I heard that there were auspicious guests. The Princess Morgause, and indeed King Lot.
Ah, yes. That is not entirely out of the realm of possibility. King Lot and Duke Eldol had Duke Eldol had a friendship with King Lot's father, and one of Duke Eldol's promises to Lot upon his father's death is that he would look after him. So the families are friends, to say the least.
Indeed. Well, of course I cast no aspersions on the honor of any knight or ruler upon this isle, but King Lot's ambitions are dangerous to all those involved in the good governance of this isle. I would be grateful if you would send a message, perhaps, to your king and ask him to take a look at the staff and retainers that may have been left within Glevham after the passing of King Lot.
I see. Retainers. Do you mean to assume spies?
I do.
You know, many in Logris would say that Lot is the furthest king away from Logris and much less a threat than the Saxons or even Idris or Nanteleod because of his distance. What gives you pause about the man?
His ambition, and indeed his marriage to Morgause. I believe that while the distance is a threat, not so if one comes as a conqueror, though he will face many opponents. I understand people in terms of strategy. Idris and Mark have great ambitions and a desire to have what they believe is theirs. Lot has much the same. Conquerors have a unfortunate capacity to make their way across the island in a very quick span. And it wouldn't take a lot of political maneuvering to have his claim become that of the Isles, given that he is married to the, and correct me if I'm wrong, the eldest daughter of Queen Igraine.
True. I would not put it beyond the daughters of Gorlo to want revenge. But I'm not sure that revenge would be on a Logris without an Uther's heir. Their revenge would be on King Idris, their first rival.
Consider this, as you and I are of the same mind in this, and spoke of this last time. The Winter Prince remains extant. If the Winter Prince were to make an arrival, legitimacy goes back into the royal family. If they were to disappear, then it will go to the eldest heir, the only one remaining. A quick assassination, and he becomes the one most favored by the law. And he's been untouched by many, many wars that we have all been facing. I consider him a threat. Not an immediate one, but one that should be looked at regardless. It is distant, but a distant avalanche is still an avalanche.
I will pay this notice back to Nanteleod and his court.
Thank you, Sir Elaine. I wish you, and indeed all of Escavalon, good fortune in the wars to come.
Very well. Give me an awareness roll.
Absolutely. Success.
As you're walking kind of like out of your way of the courtyard where you're having this, talk with Elaine, you see a handmaiden not too far off, and she seems to be she's quite pretty. She seems to be kind of doing what would be maybe like knitting or something. I'm trying to think of something recreational. You see her on a bench. This would have been like a good 100 feet away from where you were having your conversation.
So like pretty, like out of earshot, probably.
Maybe? Yeah, give me a recognize roll.
Absolutely. Success, 8 of 14.
It is one of the handmaidens of Eliabel.
Queen of Lyonesse. For Cornwall, yes?
Yeah.
Having them know that I was talking with a man of Escavalon is awkward, And if I were listening to that report, I would assume the worst and that an alliance was being formed. I think, and this doesn't have to be on screen, before that handmaiden would report back to her mistress, I think he would like to also make some kind of diplomatic overture to Queen Elabel, just to make it seem less problematic politically.
Okay. Is this a ruse, or what is your counter? What is this diplomatic effort to her look like, I guess? That's what I'm trying to say.
Largely just meeting with her, talking about matters of politics and state. He'd also probably direct the conversation towards some of the Cornish men that Edrich knows, such as our good friend Baron Florence. The intention is to make it look like he's talking to the dignitaries and not shoving Cornwall out of it and making secret plans, even though he is.
Okay, make a diplomacy roll.
Absolutely. I believe in you, Space Jesus. Actually, could I possibly activate a passion of hospitality?
Yeah, you're not doing anything inherently harmful, so yeah, I'll allow it. If this was to, say, veil an invasion of Cornwall or something, you wouldn't be able to?
Yeah. There's a reason he didn't actively make that overture to Escavalon. Failure, but that's fine.
Okay.
Let's roll diplomacy. Oh, yeah?
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, another failure. Same roll, no less.
I was about to say, I was trading it like you had already failed the roll, but you were doing the impassioned.
Indeed, I did it with the same thing.
It goes pleasantly, and you're left with the feeling that she knows exactly what that was.
Oh, well.
Yeah. You're left with the impression that she knows there's more to it than that, but she isn't disrespectful about it. She's actually quite courteous. You're just left with that, damn it.
With that
she knows.
Nagging, she knows what I was doing.
Yeah.
Fortunately, it's mostly fine. When she receives the report from the handmaid, I'm sure she'll go, okay.
And I'm not sure this is something you did know prior, but if you do, you know now, when you do those sort of things, if there's any reference to Idris, or she'll say, I will be sure to tell my father such.
Indeed.
Yeah. Not as a threat, but just, yes, I'm not sure if you knew that she was the daughter of Idris or not. But now you do.
Indeed, now I do.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes, thank you very much.
Yeah, you can, for that bit, have 20 glory.
Thank you kindly.
And you already got the 19 for your crit intrigue at the beginning, right?
I did. I've rolled nothing but... I've rolled 3 19s thus far.
That's true, actually, yeah. Okay, that brings us to Florence. Florence, the Lord Commander of Wells. When you last left off, you had uncovered a set of witch trials taking place, put them to the stop. You had someone reach out and you found yourself fainted and returned back to Wells. You'd made some moves about what to do next, and then you had a dream with the Lady Morgan in it. Where would you like to go from here? We'll say that's 2 weeks or so has passed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, Florence has received the suggestion that if he wishes to understand more, he needs to seek out King Cadway. So I think he's going to focus his efforts on trying to track down what happened to King Cadway, tracking down like his last known location, where he was seen from that point on, and see if he can get a general idea of where he has disappeared off to.
Okay. Give me 3 rolls: intrigue, hunting, and battle.
All right, starting off with intrigue. Success with hunting. Question: I do have hunting dogs, however, they're at the other manor. They're in.
That won't work in this
Idmiston.
case. You're hunting on a map
All right.
versus hunting going out.
Okay,
At this point.
that fits then. He is going to activate a passion. This is going to be his passion of honor. He is duty sworn to the Lady Morgan to follow up on this and figure out what exactly she was trying to tell him.
She
the
was
sake of
trying to tell
everyone.
him to leave her alone.
Success! There's a +5 to this. Come on, come on, come on!
Ah,
Bastard.
Okay.
And then
And battle. Couldn't get that on your hunting roll, could you? Okay.
Nope.
You're
If I hadn't
able.
have rolled on, it would have worked fine. Actually,
Yeah.
no, it still would have failed.
You know that, and this lines up with what you've heard before. You've heard rumors that Cadwy and many of his loyals fled to the marshes. And why this is relevant for you battle-wise is historically, Cadwy was said to have treated with Uther in the marshes of Somerset long ago. But on a map, you're not exactly sure what qualifies as the marches. What's further is every sort of like group or contingent you send out seems to be like they return way later and demoralized, or they don't return, or they return the next day and said they went north, but they returned on the south border of Wales, like they had almost gone around in a full circle. The fog is creating complete and utter mischief for and almost like a miscommunication for the army.
Yeah.
So you're not even sure where Mark is, Prince Mark is, or Meliodas.
Yeah.
Well, actually, sorry, you
Okay.
do know Mark's returned to Cornwall, but you don't know where Meliodas
would've-
is.
I think then Florence realizes that if he needs to get this done, he has to do it personally.
Yeah,
I have faith that
missed communication. Yeah.
exactly. He has to have
Yeah.
faith that his plan and righteousness will lead him through, and the mists will know that. He's just
Okay.
guessing at this point. So he's going to ride off with a contingency to attempt.
What makes you think that'll be the case?
Uh,
Is it a desperation? Is it what is leading you
I
to
think it's
that conclusion?
It's a mix of desperation, but also like he has this belief that because like he doesn't intend these people harm or the land harm, that it will somehow make him immune to the fog, because he's trying to help them in his own mind. So I think it's a part of he doesn't feel like there's any other option, and he doesn't have a lot of time. So this is a last-ditch Hail Mary.
So it's a recklessness versus trusting in anything particular.
All right, yeah.
Is that fair?
I think that's probably fair.
It can be something else. I'm just asking for your clarification. How much of this
say
has
it's
to do with
spiritual.
Morgan? Is it though?
I-
That's what I was trying to get at. Is it?
Yeah.
Is it spiritual in this case? Or is it trusting
I think
towards
there's a-
Morgan? Or is it a recklessness because you're down to the wire and it's the last ditch Hail Mary?
I think in the end, this is more of a spiritual. This is his own belief that things will work out because he is righteous of heart. That he is doing the right thing, so things are going to work out the way he wants them to.
a proper leap of faith.
Okay. I need
What
you
God
to test
commands, Jesus, take
spiritual
that wheel.
or worldly.
All right, let's go
Jesus, take
spiritual.
that wheel. Jesus, don't take that wheel.
Jesus, take the wheel. Jesus got my wheel.
Jesus, roll side saddle with me.
All right,
Jesus
looks like
has the
that's
wheel,
true.
and I'm not into it anymore.
Looks like you are accurate on that, so you can tick spiritual.
Yep.
Which, if you recall, was what you guys all rolled when you went out in the mist last with your first characters, and it's what Edward failed, and it's what Dallin, I believe, fumbled, if memory serves.
Yep.
Okay, so spiritual wise, you are set to make your way out. I need a D10 roll before you go. Let's see if there's any curveballs.
Good thing. 8.
No. Okay.
I come across 3 dragons.
Yes.
One of us tells the truth, the other always lies, and the other one will eat you.
Yeah. The third one's like that DBZ meme. Just has cross eyes. And
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so you set out. How many men are you setting out with, and who are you putting in charge while you're away?
He is putting his right-hand man, I forget his name, but the character Thomas played.
Okay.
Blethant, I think.
Blethant?
Blethant. Yeah.
Blethant is in charge.
Yes, Blethant.
Yeah, Blethant has quickly become Florence's right-hand man because he saved Florence's life. Florence trusts him. We'll see if he regrets that.
That's fair.
It's got nothing to do with qualification, because he rolled spiritual. It's all about faith. I have faith in you.
I have faith in this guy.
I like to think I'm a great right-hand man.
Great left-hand man, too.
And he'd probably
even
only
better
take a
left-hand
small contingency. Like, we'll say 2 other of his knights.
Okay. And you are setting out. Are you bringing hunting dogs with you?
No. He is relying completely on his faith to succeed in the spiritual role.
Okay. I want you to make a series of hunting rolls for me. This is going to tell you. This will tell us a number of things. There will be no impassion on these. I need you to make hunting rolls, and you're going to make them at -7. And you're just going to keep on doing
just
it.
1.
Yep, you're just going to keep on doing it.
All right, let's go.
That would have been a crit.
That was wrong.
Well,
I'm just gonna keep rolling this. If it's a 1, it succeeds.
Understood.
Essentially, we're looking for like a fumble or a crit.
there's exactly the same odds of it. Do you want?
Very
Do you
good.
want? Bob, do you want Thomas guy to start rolling too? If it's a
Hey,
1 or a
There we
0.
go.
hey, you did it!
Oh, hey, oh, hey,
Nope.
that's a crit.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. And you are going to go through a couple of things in this process. Roll me 2d100 real quick.
Good thing. The power of faith.
65,
Ooh,
65.
65 and 65. Instant death, my favorite.
Okay. You see the banners of the Pendragon in a dream. In your first vision you have in the first few weeks of your hunting, because you're gone a lot longer than you hoped for. You see the sort of vision zoom in, and you see a young. It almost looks like if you're to cross like Uther and Madoc together, somewhere in the middle of the two of them. Clearly related. You see he rides with some of his most loyal subjects, and he can't be more than a boy at this age. And you see a great cavalry come in, and you watch as he is slain. Now, this is something you've been fighting for to happen. And what does this do to Florence to see this vision of his boy king being slain before he can achieve his potential?
It fills him with a feeling of despair. A failure he has felt many times before. An oath he promised that has failed once more. But I think there is a part of, because of the spiritual role, something within him that believes to trust in God's plan, in the decisions that had brought him forward so far, and to trust that this is not the fate that is meant for the boy, for the Pendragon as a whole.
I want you to make a trusting roll +5
All right.
versus worldly.
Trusting +5. 11. Worldly.
Would have been a crit.
Yeah, worldly can't beat it unless it crits. No.
Never say that beforehand.
I said it once during a lustful roll. That went well for me, didn't it?
Yeah. Actually, always say because it makes for great shorts. But
That's true.
I
just want to recreate that moment. That's all I want.
Yeah.
With a rush.
Okay, so you press on. You go for what feels like it's hard to even tell when day and nights are. You ride till exhaustion, and then you sleep and you wake up. By about 3 weeks in, you're alone. You're not even sure where your allies have gone to in the fog.
Like, I'm not even sure when they left.
Yeah.
It's just, yeah.
You can give me 2d100. You have one more of these coming.
All right. 71 and 54.
Okay. What should this be? Okay, I know. You find a small little cabin in a grove in the woods. You can smell like the chimneys going. You can smell like really good food. The smell of like warm cooked food, something you haven't had in weeks.
I think Florence would make his way towards the cabin, having realized, or kind of just come to the realization of, like, how long has it been since he's eaten? He doesn't remember, but he knows that he's hungry and he has that pain in his chest. So he'd make his way towards the cabin, trying to find out what it is that smells so good.
Okay. You reach the cabin. The door's closed, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
What do you do?
He would knock.
First mistake.
Kick down the door. No.
You hear a woman's voice call out, a guest? Who's here? And then you hear her sort of humming to herself as she reaches the door, and the door opens, and you see a very beautiful woman standing before you. Her appeal is 21. Just to put it in numbers. She says, "Oh, Sir Knight, what brings you to my home?"
My apologies, my lady. I have been wandering these fog for quite some time. This is the first landmark I have seen in some time. Tell me, do you know where exactly in Somerset we are?
She looks at you a moment. She says, "Well, you're not far from the Mendip Hills, near the marshes."
I see.
Or marshes, sorry, not marches.
Marshes. I think you can. Good. Then I might be heading in the right direction. He kind of like looks around at the fog that kind of surrounds him.
Have you lost your way?
I think so. Or I'm finding it. I think it's been weeks, but just tell me, I do not wish to impose. Might I be able to partake of whatever it is that you're cooking? I think it has been some time since I've last eaten.
Well, of course. Of course, you're welcome. You fight for these lands, not against them, yes?
Yes. I fight for all the lands of the Isle. For the sake of them.
Very well then, of course. And I'm just gonna pick something from the list here.
Swan neck pudding.
Let's go with that. It can be swan neck pudding.
Just the necks.
Just the neck.
Just the necks. Okay, give me 1 sec here. Actually, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna keep the round robin, so we're gonna kind of pause at that, Florence. We're gonna come back because it's been a lot longer for you. So you're moving into the towards the end of summer at this point. We go to Virgil.
I love Virgil. Virgil's turn Virgil things.
Indeed. So we are in summertime, friend.
So during the summer, past the intrigue check, so I'm more or less aware of things that are going on here. I think what Virgil would like to do. Now, the last time we left off with Virgil, he was putting in a lot of effort into constructing and making devices, not just an appealing target militarily, but also fortifying it to make it a really, really solid stronghold. And he had hired, what's his face?
Sir Halifer.
Sir Halifer.
Right?
Halifer?
That's right.
Halifer. Either way.
Is Halifer, I believe.
Yeah. He had brought in Sir Helfer and had making some good moves in terms of potentially convincing that guy to move here. However, I'm going to do a step further here. And I'm going to say I would like to also involve a lot of hunting rolls, because I think Virgil would like to invite Earl Robert to Devices for a hunting trip and to tour like take a look at all of the things that Virgil's planning on doing with devices now that he's technically quote unquote baron of that land.
Sounds great. You know, I'd love to do, I've been talking about it for a while, but I'd love to do like a book of the hunt. It's like almost does like cards and everything, just like Book of Feasts, like really draw like a formal hunt. Like
it's such an important part of the setting, and it does feel underrepresented a little bit with a single roll or a couple of rolls.
agreed.
But also, I think it would encourage putting more points into it, because I will say I have almost never touched hunting, despite the fact that it does be useful quite often.
And it bites us in the ass every time.
It does.
The time,
but it's more of like a threat mitigation that people roll it versus like anything that seen as noble.
Something that your knight enjoys doing as a hobby, right?
Okay. All right. Roll me a d10. Let's start there.
I love d10. It's my favorite kind of dice. Bop. I said bop. Oh, 7.
All right. And then, yeah. Okay. So Robert does accept. Is there anyone else you want to invite, or is this more of his entourage?
I'll invite Helfier as well. I know he's got busy work to do.
But he's part of your entourage, so if you ask him, he'll be there. Like, that's a default.
Yeah, I'll bring some of the hounds for sure, not just as bodyguards, but also, you know, like, hey, we're guarding the count. That's the most or the earl. That's the most important thing. But also, like, let's have a boys' night. I think, would it be wild? Now, hang on 1 second. Let me double check a timeline thing here. Gotcha. Okay, so 2 years ago, Virgil took on 2 peasants as wards because their mother tried to murder him, and he didn't want them to starve.
Right.
How old were they? They were Bridget and Goodfoot.
I don't know if we did. Did we decide?
I don't think we figured their age. I remember them being quite young, so they probably wouldn't be able to come here.
They could be pages. You could have them walk along. Like you
let's
typically have support staff that don't ride, you know.
Let's bring them as pages, I think, because I'd like them to be here, and I want to do something with Robert involving them as well. So
okay. From Robert, Robert will be present, and then with him, Sir Bar will be here.
Hi, Sir Bar.
And since we have him still alive, why don't we have Kibno there as well? What was Perin's sire? Because they would go in defense of Robert. Like Robert's personal guard is present. Is there anyone else outside of what would be considered your entourage and Robert's entourage? Are there any other political guests that would be other people you wanted to invite to this?
I think that's it. I think that's all. Yeah. What about actually there is one more person. Sir Irwin, I think, as well.
Okay. Yeah, Irwin in his entourage will attend as well.
I'd like to start building some inlays with him, especially because Virgil's feeling so weird about his other best friend.
Indeed.
Okay. Yes, Irwin accepts as well. And the parties all arrive. With this, we're going to assume that this is a small hunt, but it still has an earl guest present, so it's going to cost you 5 librum to host. Unless this is a wild hunt. If this is more like a hunt on your lands, it's sort of like a little more like a banquet type of hunt. That would be like more the standard. Like
would be
what
better? What would be better glory wise / reputation wise?
the sanctioned type hunt. Like basically think of the type of hunt that you went on with Gorlo.
Yeah. Let's potentially do that. How much would that cost?
So I'm going to say it's a small one, but it's going to have an added cost because an earl's invited. So it'll cost you 10 librum.
10 librum. I can do that. That is 1/6 of my remaining stores.
You only have 2 key guests, the Earl and Erwin, and then their entourages who you're entertaining. Otherwise, it costs more, right? Like the bigger the hunt gets.
Yeah, the more people they're invited. If I was inviting a county, like 2 counties, lords to it.
It would be like 50 for the county, and it'd be like, this is a small one, medium one, and like a royal hunt would cost like 100.
Is this 506 or 507?
506,
right?
Yep.
Yeah, cool. Okay. All right. I've got something that I can start us off with, kind of like a toast once everybody's here, or we can just go right to the hunts. It's up to you. I don't have a strong preference.
I know that there'd be some kind of formality. Again, I haven't looked into these full details about what a formal royal hunt looks like. Or a formal like medieval hunt, but I imagine it starts with some ceremonial type stuff. So a toast and a feast the day before might be acceptable. We won't roll the feast, but it's like, some food the day before.
With mustard.
Yeah.
Selection of cheeses. Yes. It's very good.
Cheese tastes like despair.
Okay, go ahead. Take her away.
Yeah.
Oh, no. I just want everyone to know they
right.
suck and I hate them. No.
I think Virgil's going to keep it relatively simple. He's going to do like a larger speech to everybody, and that's going to go fine. He's just going to be like, welcome, enjoy yourselves. We're forging bonds after a very difficult couple of years. Goodbye. But I think he'll also pull Erwin and Robert separate a little bit and speak to them as well. And he goes, I'm very honored that you chose to join me here. I know both of you have been very busy, and it's important to me that we maintain some level of familiarity as friends, and not just as knights and lords.
Robert will chime in and say, of course, Sir Virgil, I'm honored to have you have me, and I'm sure Erwin is too. Isn't that right, Sir Erwin? Erwin's like, yes, my lord, quite so. Thank you for the opportunity, Sir Virgil. It's not every day that we get a chance to remind ourselves of the graces that God has given us.
Well, my bringing you here was twofold as well. I wanted a good excuse to make sure that you could see what I've been doing with the place. The county. Or not the county, but the... Is it 100? Is it 100 that I'm in control of, technically?
No, barony.
Barony? Okay. The lands that surround devices. I wanted you to see what I've been doing with it. Make sure that there was some understanding there. Sir Erwin, how has been rebuilding your lands since the invasion?
Cholderton is recovering. Things would have been far worse if my family had remained in Cholderton and had not moved with me to Tisbury. I forget, out of character. Remember, so just out of that note, he moved to a castle that you guys helped negotiate him into. Otherwise, his whole family would have been right there. So
that's right.
Yeah. Till's Head is the name of it.
Till's Head, yes.
Yeah, and I will move. I'm not going to move the group to the map, but I'll move you guys to the map in case you need to see anything like that. So, but as you go to, sorry, Till's Head is right up by West Lamington. If you need to know.
Yes, that's right. I do remember that. For what it's worth, the structures can always be rebuilt, but the lives can't be replaced, right?
Such is quite true, Sir Virgil.
I hope the two of you get an opportunity to enjoy yourselves. Earl Robert, I'm especially overjoyed to be able to have you here as well. I look forward to spending some good time with you.
Robert smiles and says, I'm looking to finally have an opportunity to hunt, as my father did.
This isn't your first organized one, is it?
Well, not on horseback.
Well, there's no shame in inexperience, in my personal opinion. But there is virtue in the pursuit of growth. I've never been a particularly exceptional hunter myself. My father used to take me and Perin when we were young. I didn't get to know him for very long, but I have fond memories of those times. I hope the three of us can forge some new memories as well.
I want you to give me like an intrigue roll real quick.
Bada bing boom.
Yeah.
That's a fail.
Okay. All right. Now, I imagine you have hunting dogs and such organized for this, like
Correct.
the big formality piece.
I do.
Okay. So, the night before the feast or before the hunt begins, Sir Bar tries to find you, and he tries to find you at a time where you're not near or by Robert in any way.
Liam succeeded his intrigue roll. I don't think Virgil did not, so I think I know where this is going. Yeah, I think he probably finds Virgil probably overlooking some of the fields outside on some of the ramparts that he's built, or that Perin built, actually. And as Virgil turns around and goes, Sir Bar, I hope you don't bring bad news. You and I haven't spoken much.
No, not bad news. Just warning.
Warning.
I heard the young Robert talk about his father's successes at hunting. I served Roderick for many years, and I now serve the boy. And it seems the boy carries on in the competencies of his father's hunting skills.
I see.
It's just that his father was not a very good hunter.
I see. You're worried that the boy will be embarrassed.
I'm worried that the boy will be harmed.
Sir Bar, I have no illusions about my reputation. May I ask, do you trust me?
In most cases, Sir Virgil, I do. It's not so much that I distrust you here. It's that I know the boy looks up to you, and he means to impress you. And it is that I worry over.
see. That's good. Good that you trust me. I see conflict there, yes. And I will do everything in my power to ensure that our Earl remains safe. I'm sure you and I both recognize remember a time when we had much to prove. But I also believe that no one remains bad at something forever. I would like to give him an opportunity to learn from mistakes. He can't do that if he's hurt or killed. But I don't think he can do that if he remains sheltered as well.
True enough.
I'm not an exceptional hunter myself. And I hope, if you'll let him come with me, that him seeing me fumble, or fail, hopefully, him seeing me struggle, will remind him that there are no such things as unflawed heroes. Perhaps it will guide him into a tempered existence. Whew!
Hold on 1 second.
always a concerning thing to hear.
Indeed.
Allow me a moment.
Okay, yeah, that's what's wrong there. Okay. I will remind you that the boy is not even yet squired.
And yet, he has no father. And we are surrounded by enemies and few allies. I see him in court often, and I see him growing into a fine young man. We may not get to choose when he is forced to grow up. We may have already missed our chance. But I do think it's wise of us to prepare him as much as we can. You are his guardian in many ways. I won't force a decision. I know my word carries weight with him. I will defer to you. But I think there is wisdom in trusting him as he has trusted us.
He is a guest here in your lands, Sir Virgil. I will stay close to the boy. The rest is your decision, and I will respect it.
Good. Then I will see you tomorrow, and we will rest. And after, we will feast.
Okay. To begin this with your hunting dogs, I want you to make a hunting test +5, Virgil.
Ooh, that actually gives me a decent chance.
And, the boy Earl is there with his entourage, and Erwin is there present with his.
That would have failed without
Very
the dogs.
nice.
Okay. Now, I need you to give me a d20 roll, sir.
I love D20. It's my favorite kind of die.
3. 3, you say? 1 sec.
3.
Two shreds,
A
you
one.
say?
A 2, a 3.
Right.
We find a troll.
Right. Surprise.
Hey, Robert, you ever want to slay a giant? Because you want to be really sick as hell if we slayed a giant and then I gave you credit for it, kid.
If you get the heir of Salisbury killed, I'll...
We're fine. We're fine. We're fine. We're fine.
That would put Florence in a better position, honestly.
Yeah.
Right, but like it's bad for all of us.
Yes. Yeah,
I am going to be remembering the bodyguard rules in this, and I will be throwing myself in the way of any damage that could come to the boy.
Very good.
And Bar's here too.
Boy.
He's gonna watch Virgil die before his eyes. It's gonna be great.
Don't learn the wrong lessons from this. This is really cool, actually, but not. Don't. Fuck. Oh.
Wait, shit.
Oh, fuck. Uh-oh.
Wait, don't do the wrong thing here. The right thing is revenge is awesome.
I have returned from my meeting. Why are you weekend at Bernie'sing the most important people in the county?
Nice reference. I like it. Okay. Give me the dogs start to pick up pace and begin to bark, giving you a sign that you have caught on to some form of prey. I need you to give me an awareness roll.
Ooh. I'm nearsighted. Yeah, I don't see shit.
You don't see anything, but you can tell from the sound that it is from like the barking and such that the dogs want to go up like further ahead, but they're going to leave the trail and go off trail in pursuit of this if you don't steer them on.
Okay. I think Virgil pull up alongside Robert and go, there's a choice ahead. Past that point, it's unsafe and unstructured. Could be dangerous. The hounds want something. There is no right or wrong here, Robert. But the choice will have consequences either way.
What are we waiting for? Yeah, and he starts off.
You fought him
shit!
too well.
Wait!
It's gone horribly
All
right.
It's yeah. Oh, Virgil loves this kid so much. We gotta go.
Okay. You are still commanding the hunting dogs. I need you to make another hunting roll.
+5 again? Is that what you said?
+5, yep.
Success.
Okay.
Concerning. That's a fumble from Irwin.
Yeah. So, you all
Watch Irwin die.
Yeah.
I love the skill of 2.
You all start off in, like, in your pursuit. Virgil, what are you focusing on here? What's your primary focus?
Priority is sticking with and guiding Robert. Even if we come back with nothing, I think that there is still a lesson in that Virgil thinks could be taught. So his priority is not to take credit or to get glory. I think his priority is to maybe nudge Robert in the right direction and try to get him to it and make sure that he doesn't go too far.
Okay. Robert is actually ahead of everybody, and Erwin's trying quickly to catch up to stay in league with the two of you. The three of you end up riding, and you see. Actually, you don't see. By now, you would. You see a blurry something ahead, and it's running fast, and you see it go down this like little kind of dike embankment sort of thing into what is clearly not very deep water because it moves right across the water. As the three of you go to move towards this embankment, the edge of it, which is kind of like always eroding from the water, just like a mudslide, like just caves as the three of you ride to it. Erwin's gone. He doesn't get an option. He's just right off his horse right away. You and Robert, however, get a horsemanship test. Oh,
yes, my boy. Yes.
Yeah.
That's the important thing.
We can say that
everyone else can eat shit.
You go to move ahead of Robert, and maybe what you do is you actually kind of like stop him from his horse from going, and you catch just the tail end of the mud of the bank, like the bank rather, caving out from underneath your horse.
Oh shit!
Yeah. Roll a d6, sir.
Oh, I love a d6. It's my favorite kind of die. 4.
You take 4 damage. You land on some very painful rocks underneath you.
That could have been worse.
Erwin, you see, gets up, and you can actually see like blood coming out from his side. You aren't armored, right? Or at least not chain.
Yeah. Shit. Erwin! You alright?
I'll be fine. If you're going to go ahead, you go without me.
How many days do you get a scar from something other than a blade?
He doesn't seem terribly offended. It's kind of, it was kind of an amusing thing. But you can tell you're quickly losing your game. It's getting away right now.
Virgil turned to Robert, who's still on his horse.
Yeah.
And I think he'll just quickly go... He'll go, if you run too fast, we'll lose you. But if you don't run at all, you'll lose the game. Can I trust you?
He smiles and says, "If you can catch me." And with that, he starts riding.
Not what I said. Okay.
Yeah.
Get on the horse. Let's fucking go.
I love just reaping what you fucking sowed and having this most stressful time dealing with this reckless, brave fool.
Where did you learn to do this? I learned it from watching you.
Learned it specifically from the lessons you instilled.
Oh, all right. I'm gonna get you to do another hunting roll +5 with the dogs.
Oh, Bar's gonna be so mad at me.
Oh,
Fuck! Fuck!
Okay. And I will get you to give me a horsemanship roll.
That is a success this time.
Hell yes.
So there's good news and there's bad news. The good news is you get back on your horse as quick as you can. You get the hunting dogs and you start the pursuit of Robert. Robert moves real fast on his horse. and you actually kind of now can hear him. You can't see him, and you can hear a noise coming from wildlife, and you're almost certain at this point that it's a boar.
Oh, those are dangerous. Okay.
I'm gonna give Boar a quick test here because he had a very big concern. Nope, yeah, he manages. Boar ends up being cut off by the embankment as well. He doesn't lose his footing, but he when he gets down to help Erwin up and stuff, that's when Robert takes off. So he's like, I'm gonna say that Boar is that his name? Bar, not Boar. Yeah, there's too many B words going on here. Bar is trying to follow you. He's trying to follow you at this point, but you are now the closest to the boy.
I think there's a moment. Where Virgil considers calling out to Robert to stop or to slow down and wait for him.
Mm-hmm.
But I also think that Virgil is recognizing the situation itself and how unhelpful it would be, and how Robert's not going to listen to him just if he shouts out to stop. So I think what Virgil's going to do is do his best to catch up and do this alongside Robert. I don't think he's going to scold or tell him to stop or anything.
Okay. I will get another horsemanship roll.
This time, I think I'm going to test a passion. Loyalty Lord. This is important. That is a success. Every time the honor rolls have traumatized me. I've been so Pavloved into terror rolling those. Oh, that's battle. That's the wrong thing. Same dice roll though. So horsemanship,
yeah,
horsemanship and my battle are the same.
I will accept that then. Okay. You make your way towards them, and you manage to find your way out of sort of the thick of the trees into what looks like an open grove. And as you reach there, we will go on break and return in a couple of minutes. So see you all very soon.
Man.
So our one break for the night, and then we'll be back to continue. By default, nights start at 21 with Kimmer culture, Christian religion, Salisbury homeland, and a random family characteristic. You can choose different options for all these. There are 5 characteristics: size, dexterity, strength, constitution, and appeal. Size and con determine total hit points and unconscious value. Size and strength determine weapon and brawling damage. Dex keeps a character upright or horsed and is used for starting weapon skills and throwing. Con also affects healing rate. App covers starting social skills, attractiveness, distinctive traits, and seating at feast. Skills have base starting values, some determined by your characteristic scores. Most skills are straightforward, but here are a few unusual ones. Recognize is used for identifying people, folklore for general and mythical knowledge, battle for navigating battles successfully, and hunting for navigating Britain's dense forests. There are 13 paired traits, like chaste, lustful, or valorous, cowardly, where increasing one lowers the other. These define how a character naturally behaves. If a trait is 16 or higher, it's famous, meaning the character defaults to the behavior without rolling. Otherwise, in uncertain moments, a player can roll one trait of the pair. If it succeeds, that's the action taken. If it fails, the opposite trait is tested instead. Over time, traits can shift through gameplay. Passions show what your character cares about, like loyalty, lord, or love of family. They range from unsung 1 to 15, famous 16 to 19, and exalted 20 plus. You can invoke a passion for a bonus, but failure can cause melancholy, creating a -5 penalty. Or, in the case of madness, takes you right out of play. Famous passions are riskier, but exalted ones mostly help. In Pendragon, you roll a d20 and want to roll under your tested trait, passion, characteristic, or skill, like Price is Right rules. For contested rolls, the higher success wins, while the lower success is called a partial success. Sometimes you need to roll over a target number for challenges, like breaking down a door. Rolling exactly your tested value is a critical strike. Rolling over your tested number is a failure. Rolling a 20 on a failed roll is a fumble. Bad news. If your tested number is greater than 20, the extra value becomes a bonus to your roll. This removes failure and fumble risk while boosting your critical chance. Glory measures a knight's fame for their deeds, directly granting permanent increase to their character. To be a knight is to pursue more glory. The more glory, the more recognition, and the greater the benefits to your character. This concludes the basics for a player on how to play Pendragon. The GM can guide the rest. Check out my linked series to find out why you should play Pendragon. All right. We are back. So, I'm just waiting for the music to kick in. Come on.
Probably.
I guess we had the wrong music, but that's okay. Like the chill music. It should be something exciting. I don't want to make it super dramatic, so let's go. I think a fantasy adventure is that. Sure. Virgil, you enter the scene to see, like in an opening through the trees, you see Robert actually take a run at the boar with his spear, and as he does, the boar is still fleeing, so it's like he's caught up to the boar. This is an ideal type of scenario because he's not, charging the boar who's charging him back.
Yes.
But right as he goes to spear it, and you can tell he's just a little too small to try and do this well. So despite his advantage, you see him go to spear, and he goes like this down, and the boar almost kind of like runs right underneath his horse, like his horse's legs. And his horse doesn't quite know what to do with that. They don't connect. The boar you see the boar end up on the other side of the horse, but the horse kind of skids to a halt, and Robert's position off, and you see him leave his horse, and he goes end over end onto the ground.
He's so mad at me. Okay, first concern. Robert's unhorsing is horrifying, and yet secondary to the boar turning around. Is the boar turning around, or is the boar continuing to flee?
That is a really good question. Let's do this.
Oh no.
You see the boar looks pissed off, and it stops, and it turns, and it locks eyes with the boy and starts.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, in this case, Virgil is going to hardcore kill that boar or scare it off. I think he's going to make a very loud battle cry as he charges the boar, and he needs to kill that boar before it has a chance to hurt the boy.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I will remind you, you're not on a charger. You're on a round C. Yeah. So your charge skill is not 66 horse damage. It's going to be...
No, that's okay.
Yeah.
Like whatever, I still... That's cute, Bob. My damage in general is 66.
Indeed.
Yeah.
I have confidence in Virgil's ability to kill this thing, because if you don't, it's going to be so embarrassing.
Have you seen my dice rolls in general when it comes to damage, though?
Yeah.
I will say I am impassioned.
So the challenge is you will not, if you want better than the round C's 4d6 horse damage, you're not going to be able to charge. Damage. Well, you can. You can, but you can't charge and use your own damage.
So you don't get the charge bonus.
Oh, well, that's okay. Maybe I'll drop the spear and use the sword then, because I'm better at sword anyway then.
Okay. That's fair. I'm going to give you, though, a -3 because it's small. Like, it's not human size. You're going to have to kind of...
Yeah. That's okay.
Reach down.
Let me see, because that would. Let me see what would be better for me. Hang on. Let me do some quick mental math here.
Yep.
2 + 2 is 4.
Take your time.
Or 21 + 2, 23. Yeah, I'll do sword. Still better for me.
Okay.
Oh wait, that's not true. Am I wrong? No, spear's better for me. I'm doing spear.
Okay.
Sorry. Let's fucking go!
On a natural 19, no less. So you would have got the crit anyway.
I would have gotten the crit anyway.
You better kill this thing in one shot.
Okay. So you're gonna reach it. I think it's gonna turn and try to avoid, but your crit beats its success, so that's good. Because otherwise, it would have been a partial success still.
Oh my gosh.
That's pretty good.
Why can't I roll like this against Saxons, huh?
Right.
Oh man.
You are going to slay this boar, so let's give me a description about what this looks like for Virgil.
I don't think this is going to be historically accurate or proper use of the weaponry, but I think legit there's going to be a moment where Virgil rushes the boar, and then he actually like kind of shifts his grip on the spear and chucks it through the boar's neck and kind of pins it to the ground before it has a chance to reach the boy. And Virgil's going to kind of ride past and then turn, make sure it's dead, and then take a breath and turn to Robert and go, "Are you all right, my lord?"
Give me an intrigue test.
Success.
Okay. This, as the scene comes to a close, we're going to wrap here. You look at the boy, and he gives you a nod. There's a look of, well, a look like you've seen in many soldiers' eyes as they just got out of a situation that could have led to their death. Mm-hmm. But you see an instilled bravery in the boy. Like, you can tell that he had no weapon, he had no means of defending himself, but he had made peace with the outcome, and he was going to die, not like a whimpering little boy.
I think at that, we can leave it for now with Virgil, despite everything, grins wide at the boy.
All right. So aside from the crit, 'cause you're gonna get whatever your base land skill is. What is your base land skill?
19.
Yeah. So 19 glory for that, but you're gonna get another 50 glory for the hunt overall.
Oh, Nelly.
Yeah.
Not bad for 10 Libram. Hey!
Nice.
Yeah.
50, you said?
Yep.
Yep.
Very nice.
All right. That could have went totally the other way. So it's good.
I like to keep you guys on your feet, or on the. I like to keep you guys on your toes when you guys aren't in the scene. You know, I got to keep you engaged somehow.
There's so many ways that could have ended differently. It could have been really boring. Could have been you all catch up to the boar. You know,
really boring.
Yeah,
and he took damage.
Boar.
Yeah, he did. The boy did take damage.
How much HP does he have? Because he's not a man grown, and 6 damage is quite a bit.
It's gonna hurt. Yeah, it's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt a lot. So, he is Kimry though. Y'all heal faster than others.
I cannot wait.
He's got the innate constitution.
Yeah.
I cannot be
He's small.
I cannot wait until he's a grown man and Virgil's an old knight and gets to tell people the story about, oh yeah, I knew the lad when he was young. You should have seen the way he flew off his horse.
Yeah. He was this close from like getting first strike on the boar too, which would have been like,
yeah.
Imagine a boy that would be like Jaren would be like Jaren approves from a distance or whatever. It's like the one exception. He's like, normally I don't like children.
Grudging express.
Yeah.
There's for sure.
This child did combat damage.
I would love to have another scene with him at some point to talk about, to debrief off of this, but I'm totally good to move on. We've been on this long enough for now.
Agreed. We will part ways, go to Edrich next, and then to Florence. Edrich, my friend. It is now nearing the end of summertime.
Quite so. I think the most important thing in this time, now that the Saxons have been pushed away and all of the major powers are going to be fighting wars nearby but not on our land, is mostly just to make sure that our lands are safe as they can be. Border patrols, fending off bandits. I want the forests cleared, but I know that's probably not going to happen in a year without a concerted effort. I would like Wearside 100 occupied, but that is contingent on what's his name, whose name I wrote down but forgot. Sir Daffod.
Yeah.
Sir Daffod, I think I want to bring as part of my entourage, and I want to get his valorous higher. His cowardly cannot be 14.
Well, do you want to focus on that, or do you want to focus on getting him into a position of Baron?
I think getting him into a position of Baron matters a little bit more. Mostly because if the land has no person in it, it's mostly just being wasted. Like, there's no taxes coming in.
Okay. Roll a d10 for me.
Let's do it. 4.
All right, and then roll 2d100.
15 and 10. 15 and 20. This is the second time I've rolled 2 D100s and gotten things I could get on a D20.
Okay. You know to begin with that effectively the Wareside estate, you were pushing for this Sir Daffod's legitimacy. Was he even knighted before? He was, right? So
He was.
You're pushing for Daffod's legitimacy. That has gone through. Now there's the paperwork part, which is outside of your realm of control, where they verify his identity and trace the estate handover effectively. You know that could drag on for like a year. What it's mostly doing, he's been identified as the Wareside Lord. That's been identified.
Indeed.
They aren't going to fund any sort of formality with it until they clear his father's estate, so that it can be handed off. That's going to take like a year of paperwork and nonsense. You, with enough Librum, could push him into the role without that estate being cleared, under the understanding that you receive immediate payback from him for that. So it's not so much usury. He's not borrowing anything from you. You're putting money into the system that you're intending to get back.
Got you. Is this like Edric's not too fussed about doing actions that are on the face of it culturally inappropriate, but is this like dishonorable, or is this like jumping the gun? Is anyone being inconvenienced by this or like hurt?
No, I guess not hurt. Inconvenience is a matter of option. What you're doing is there's a certain bureaucracy that's established that you're overriding.
I point and laugh at bureaucrats. I am King Bureaucrat, despite the fact that I cannot read.
Okay. Do you want to make that happen?
Edric isn't made of money. How much money will it need?
$13.
13 makes sense. I think I want to really quickly roll a directed trait. I got prudent money. If I fumble, I'm not going to fund it.
Thank you for identifying that. Yeah.
Indeed. If I fumble, I think I'm not going to fund it. If I fail, I might have misgivings. Fumble or crit, maybe.
Okay.
That's a fail on prudent. I think he thinks it's a fine investment and he's not too fussed. He's got money in the bank. There's no need for like emergency splurges. His family isn't going to starve like that last time and his son died. No.
Wait,
Yes.
why don't you test?
I can give you 13 Libram.
Test reckless for me.
Absolutely. Any director trait or just flat?
Just flat. Actually, I should have said minus your same. What's your directed trait? How much is that worth? So,
2, just 2.
oh, so it would have been a 4 out of 10, so no change, right?
Yeah.
Okay. We will put a tick on reckless.
Indeed.
Yeah.
And I will remove 13 Libram from my sheet.
Hey, Insomnia Knight and Raid, welcome in, friends.
Hello, everyone. We're doing very exciting in-character paperwork.
I almost killed our count.
Yeah, Earl.
Indeed.
Killed the boy Earl almost. They're very close, very close. You know, send him on a hunt. No one ever dies on important hunts in medieval fantasy settings.
When has a
It's never
Titan
happened
character
either
ever
historically.
died after, or
Yeah.
fictionally,
Yeah.
especially on a hunt with a boar?
And someone named
Also
Robert.
And someone named Robert, exactly.
Look, I love that part of Lord of the Rings where Aragorn's out trying to catch food for everybody and he drowns in the river.
Yes, indeed.
Give me something for the pain and let me die.
Gods, I
welcome
was
in,
strong
friends.
then.
Good to see you, Rad. Okay, so let's assume this goes through. I'm gonna go ahead and give you either a stewardship or a clerk roll just to push it through quicker. It's not gonna really matter, it just gives you an opportunity at a tick.
Absolutely. I already have clerk ticked, and it is lower than my stewardship, so I'm going to make this go through, hopefully. Success. Oh, did I lose you?
No?
Okay, good. The visual froze for me, so I was worried. You are back now.
Okay. Did I freeze for everybody?
Yes,
Oh, that's not good.
for me as well, at least. But you're good now.
Indeed. But
All
yes, success on that.
Okay. So everything goes smoothly. We'll kind of move forward to the Wareside 100 ceremony. So it's like you're present. He's here to kind of receive his lordship here. There's a bit of a ceremony. It won't be Robert because apparently Robert's hunting up north at this time.
Good on him.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's fine.
Exactly. So we'll say it's Lady Ellen's here. That's who it is. Lady Ellen is present, so his mother's here. She's the one doing the formal sort of oversight and acceptance of this, even though it's technically a barony and only a king can do it. We'll hand wave that stuff.
Indeed. The fact that it's inherited is mostly the reason why Edric's doing it.
Yep. Yeah, because it really doesn't require much other than proving legitimacy. Exactly.
Yeah.
So the ceremony's underway. When you hear the sound of commotion.
This close to the forest, Edric is ready. But as he hears the commotion, he will stride towards it.
Okay. As you start to make your way to the gate, you see enemies on horseback have entered, and they have begun to raid the place.
Knights to me! Get ready! Protect the Countess!
Wrong music. There we go. Let's use the same one. Okay. So there is immediate exchange of from this raid, immediate fighting. You see that the raiders are getting the better of this. there was no reason to lockdown. It's the middle of the day. It's an open ceremony. Everyone's welcome. These raiders are on horseback and are using that advantage quite successfully as they cut down
Indeed.
a number of the soldiers here. What is your emphasis? Do you want to be right at the front of this fighting? I will note that you are probably not in your chainmail.
I think
You could
Edric's
be in your
main-
chainmail if you make a successful squire roll, but it will cost you 1 round to do so.
I think I would like to be in my chainmail. Like, as
Okay.
long as the Countess is not in immediate danger, I would like to be in my chainmail, so I can get into the thick of things and rally the men.
You can get your chainmail brought to you by your squire and stay in defense of the queen the countess, if you'd wish.
That sounds perfect. I think I would like to do that.
Okay. All right. Make a squire roll.
Please, Wellen. Wellen, you're fired.
Oh no.
I do have 2 squires, but this is a fumble.
Yeah. Okay. You know what? Quellen isn't paying attention. He's running, and he actually gets speared as he's bringing you the armor.
Oh no.
Yeah. You see him
Well,
fall on the
no.
ground.
No.
He's
Oh,
not
dear.
showing my rage for his murderers. How's that? Is that anything?
Right? I like it. So Edrich, your armaments are lacking. We'll say you get your shield. Make your other squire test, and you've got at least your shield.
There might be an advantage incoming because I don't want my squire to die in this. There we go. Thank you. Is that something that I can do? I want him to live. We need all the fighting that we can get.
I don't think so. I don't think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think this is him, not you. So the advantage shall be held, but it won't be for saving what has happened to him because it's already been narrated.
Understood.
So.
Fair enough. Let me mark next to him, speared.
Yeah.
There we go.
Now, if you hold on to that advantage, you can use it for anything else, but you can also use it potentially. Specifically, it said quell an advantage, so that could be for did he die?
I would like that. Yes.
Yeah.
But yes, just a shield in hand. I think Edrich will swear at seeing one of his squires run down. He would like to rally the fighting men and begin to try and repel the invaders.
Okay. What are you using?
Longsword.
Okay. Do you have great spear skill?
I don't believe I do.
Okay.
I have land.
Okay. Yeah, so you're not in a position to really.
I do have spear, but I don't have great spear.
You're going to be in a position without that of suffering the +5 -5 penalty right now.
Yeah.
And you have that same horseman that just rode down your squire. He's making his way right to you. You're the next opponent.
This is revenge after a fashion. I would like to activate a passion, if I may, of honor.
Yes, absolutely.
Critical honor.
Hey, there you go. 18 honors,
Hey.
sir.
Oh boy.
Very
Yep.
boy.
And
nice.
plus, you get +10 to your bonus here.
Which becomes +5 against this guy. Come on,
Indeed.
Speech Jesus. Low roll on my part.
Okay. One sec. I'm gonna roll. I'm gonna roll for his skill first, and then I'm gonna roll for him because his skill might be over a certain amount.
Indeed.
21, so he gets a +1. Hold on. Nope. I added in the +5, so he's only got a 16, but with a bonus, he's got a 21. So it's 1d20 +1. 18.
Ooh.
Oof. He does not have a charge, at least. And you got a success as well.
That's right. Oh, I wonder, is him living more important than me getting a higher roll here?
Yeah, that's a good question. How do you can use that advantage for this instead if you'd like. But it's like, what are your odds, I guess? Play that out. I will warn you, I wrote 5d6s of damage coming in on you, and you don't have armor on. You do have your shield.
That's exactly my reasoning. I think because I don't have armor, I feel using that advantage here would be better, mostly because a shield is good, a shield and armor is better. I would like to try and live through this as best I can.
Okay, makes sense to me, man. I would probably do the same.
All right.
It's that whole help yourself
Now,
before you can help someone you're trying to help. If you go down, what happens
exactly,
to this boy?
Applying the
Ellen.
oxygen mask, as it
Yeah.
were.
Yep.
Okay, so let's hope my luck isn't terrible. My luck isn't terrible. That is
Good.
a critical success.
You really needed that, I think. So
Yes.
All right.
Like, not soaking that damage would be bad. 20 plus 10, 30
Okay.
damage.
you drop him off his horse. He falls,
Yes.
which
It's,
could give
We
you
had
a
lots
horse.
of that tonight.
That's right. I think as there's not so much a sidestep as a quick lean and slicing into the chest of this invader, he looks to the squire on the ground, doesn't know if he's alive or not, but as the horse kind of rears back panicked, I think he's going to get on the horse and start harrying the invaders.
I'll give you two options here. You can get on the horse, or you can call for your second squire to bring you that armor and apply
Or-
it.
You can eat that horse.
Yes. True.
That will take more time than I think. I think I need the armor if it's going to be an extended engagement.
Okay.
Cutting this guy down, getting the horse. He will turn now to... What's his name? Turn now to Cadwellon and say, Cadwellon, my mail!
Give her. Squire roll, sir. There you go.
Success.
Cadwellon rises to the occasion, grabs the chainmail, and brings it to you, and helps you apply it.
Thank you. As it is applied, like the gorget, like finally being fastened, he says, Cadwellon, see to Whellen if you can.
Okay. And give me another squire test for him. That's what we'll be doing next round.
Indeed. Success.
Okay. All right. Now, lastly, I'm going to give you a battle test since you're taking control of the army you have here. I'm not going to give you. You still are impassioned? Yeah. I'm going to give you a -5 because you are ambushed right now.
Sounds fine.
Yeah.
Let's rock. 15.
Oh, okay. So whatever
Close
they're
to a
doing,
crit.
yeah, the ambush is effectively overwhelming you guys. They have the advantage because they're on horseback and you aren't. And you know this more than anyone. Knights aren't meant to be fighting on foot. Fighting those on horseback. It's not advantageous, and they're
Meant to be the other way round.
they're making work of the chaos. Despite that, your success means you are keeping the Countess safe. Like, she's kind of retreated into the manor at this point as you all sort of back up towards the manor
Indeed. Form a wedge. Don't let them surround us. Devour their questing arms.
Okay. You have another opponent coming your way.
Let's do it.
This is all in the same like scene, so same combat and everything can stay the same. This is a skirmish, not a
Shit,
battle.
Indeed.
You better be careful, Thomas. That guy's armed with a slingshot. You could go down in an instant.
No, my knees. Am I on a horse now?
If you're forming in a wedge formation, you kind of can't be. If you want to lead that defense, if you want to go off on your own and be bravado, you could. Theoretically,
I think being in the defense is more important here.
Okay.
Mostly because we can't lose more knights.
Okay. Then you're making the same with that -5 penalty as you face down on an enemy on horseback.
I feel much more confident now that I've got armor on. We'll see if it lasts.
That's fair.
Another critical.
Okay. And then I'm just going to roll the first part again.
Oh, this guy's a good horse person.
Well, he's got the horse. 19 would be his skill.
Indeed.
Ooh.
Oh.
Okay, you both deal damage to each other without your armor. He is not charging you.
Oh,
at
that's
least.
indeed. I think that's the worst outcome for me. Let's do it. 14.
An 11. Really bad roll.
Okay, I'm still.
That's 11 on
I'm still pretty
5d6.
good.
Yeah. So you both crash into each other. He's gonna fall off his horse with that.
Edric's feeling bad, but not like major wound level anything. He wouldn't be able to take another hit like that, however.
Okay. You can lead, you can retreat back, like your men will defend you if you wish. You can kind of fall to the back with the Countess, but still lead. Or you can remain in front of those. Okay.
I think like he's become more cautious, but he's still very much a lead from at least the middle kind of person. And in this occasion, he needs to rout these people. They need to die, and they need to be seen being killed by the Knights of Salisbury.
Okay. With that, then I'm going to get you to give me another battle for the next round.
Okay, same penalty?
Yep.
Critical.
You have a higher critical though, but you both did critical. Strangely enough, he critical too.
Who's the enemy general?
Right? These knights look strange to you, but not entirely what you haven't faced in the woods before. There's certainly those strange. Many call them fiend knights. For everything's of the devil, right? If you don't know what it is.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
By God, I hate these people.
Okay, so this is going to rage on bloodily for another round, I think, but you will push them out with this. So that's what your crit beating their crit will mean. So you've got one more opponent to go before that changes.
Oh, this could be the end. We'll see. Another crit. Oh, this one's very good.
Okay, this is going to be the leader.
Okay. Oh boy.
I rolled a 20.
I know, I saw.
I was willing to give you like a low one if that went bad. It was effectively determining what. So this is the head of, which would make sense if you fell him. It means him falling is the reason why you succeed here. Unfortunately, he's on horseback too.
And he's very good at what he does. I believe in the heart of the cards. Let's see if it's...
Dual crits. So...
Still crit.
So these are, you both get to strike each other without armor again.
This could kill me. It's gonna do bad things to him, though.
It is. It's going to major wound him.
That knocks me to 1.
1. But you will fall unconscious, yes?
I will fall unconscious.
You see, as you kind of you step up with your blade and you connect with him on his horse, and he brings his spear into you. You see him fall off to the side, and one of his men grabs him, who's like fighting right beside him, and you hear a call for retreat. And that's about when your eyes go blurry and you fall unconscious.
His last words before the blood loss and the shock gets to him are, after them.
Okay. You will get, counting your, don't count your crits. You'll get 80 glory for that, for the defense of the Countess.
Very nice. Thank you kindly. That was gnarly. I am going to need surgery, and I'm probably going to have to make another aging roll.
Yes, but you are in the Wareside 100. You're in the Wareside Manor in the actual barony estate, so you're in better hands than most places where this happens to you.
Yes,
Yeah.
It could have been much, much worse.
Well done, sir. That's very heroic. That's not like getting punked by an arrow. You know, you just fought off an enemy leader while on foot while he was on horseback. So. Yeah,
I think Edrich feels much better about this than he does all the other times he's been unconscious.
Yeah. We will see. We'll see where that wound goes, but we're gonna move to Florence next. Florence. I'm gonna change the music. You seem to break from the fog, and you can see up ahead what looks like a little camp. Like the fog still moves around it, but you have clarity to it now. It wasn't there before. Much better visibility. Like before this, you could barely see about 5 feet in front of you. Now you can see almost as far as your eyes allow you to.
I think with that, he just takes a deep breath. Having been riding for so long. Actually, does he still have his horse, or has he just been walking?
You have your horse. That's the one thing you have. Make a con roll. See how you're dealing with it physically. So tell us if there's been anything, like how beat up you are from. You're holding on. You're thirsty. You're hungry for real food. Oh wait, hold on. I left you off at a cabin.
That's right, with the cabin.
Yeah. Okay, hold on. We have not gotten through your trial, sir. I forgot about that. 1 sec.
The trial is not over.
Yeah. Let me. I don't usually do that, but I've had a long week and my brain is still recovering, I think.
That's fair enough.
I know a lot more facts about Canada than I did before the beginning of the week. So.
Indeed.
Yeah.
You have to empty out some other info for it.
Yeah, almost. 1 sec here. Oh, this is killing me. I hate this is happening now. My books are not fully loading. So what happens is it doesn't allow me to search for keywords quickly to navigate. That's my saving grace, is being able to navigate between. 1 second. Sorry. I meant to do this over break and I completely forgot. So spare with me.
Hey, it's how that goes, man.
I don't know why it's not pulling up the word. Okay. Here, let's try this. Someone want to tell a funny story real quick while I try to do this? Anyone got a gooder?
There I was, sailing the seven seas, where upon an island I saw a great behemoth of a monster with one eye. Yet the eye had been gouged out. I asked him what was wrong, and he said, "Nobody hurt me," so I assumed he was fine.
I saw the Loch Ness Monster one time. He rose out of the waters and looked at me and told me I need about 3
That's a lie. Loch Ness Monster can't speak. It's a ghost of a plesiosaur.
I once faced the Loch Ness Monster as I went for a wee peep, and there I saw it, arising from the loch to face me with great big teeth and a breath like the corpses of 1,000 dead. Of course, I could have been mistaken.
Have I ever
Could have been
told
your
you?
mum.
Have I ever told you the story of Darth Plagueis the Wise?
It's not a story, the Jedi will tell you.
It's not a story the English would tell.
Tell ya.
Faffy bastards. Freedom!
Old Scots legend.
It's an old Scots legend. Yeah. You know,
Okay.
so I can talk about my podcast, actually, because we're working on a new episode right now.
Yeah, go ahead and do that shout out, and then I think I'm finally ready. So go ahead and do that first. So.
Yeah, well, the next episode's going to be, it's going to be a 3-parter. It's going to start with a mini episode. It's a prelude, and it's going to be on the history leading up to KOTOR 1, and then KOTOR 1, and then KOTOR 2, Knights of the Old Republic. Very excited.
Right. Awesome. Looking forward to that. And yeah, we need to do some better linking out to folks that have a social presence, so we can make sure. Like, I'd like to start putting Mark tagged in the title name, because you can do that and stuff. So, and Liam, I know you don't have a Twitch presence, at least not linked to what you do. But
not yet.
Yep. When you do, let me know.
On it, though.
Yeah, let me know.
I'm working on it.
All right. Florence, the lady who you dine with is named Ridwenna. You find out that she is the daughter of a Aquitanian, of an Aquitanian sailor years ago. She seems to... The way she described it, she actually tells you tales of coming over here to the island with Duke Gorlo and Aurelius Ambrosius when she was but a baby.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. She tells you that this was her father's place before he passed, and she's kept it up ever since. She is real interested in you, and any stories you wish to tell. She seems to really zero in on the details with great interest. The food is delicious. And as the night nears an end, I need you to make a chase roll.
Oh boy. Here we
The return
go.
of Horrence.
He's back.
Okay.
Should I make a lustful?
No.
All right.
Okay. It's not terrible. Okay. You end up betting with the lady, unless you'd be in an extreme process to do so. It doesn't come off like, and it's very like amorous the way it happens. It's exactly how Florence would wish it to be. It seems to tick all the boxes, let's say. And you kind of like, you find yourself going through a little, almost like a little bit foggy, like you're just kind of going through the day. There's like a scene with you like cutting wood for the place, and you stoke the fire for her, and she has a lovely meal again the next night. We'll say it's cod tails, because I think cock and tree's a little overkill for this scenario. And I really shouldn't have said that word out loud.
Megan, get on it.
It's time.
Yeah.
It's time.
Okay. I
Florence would
need.
give her his. Anyway.
Yeah, I knew we were gonna go there. I need you to make that chase roll again, sir.
All right. Come on, Florence. Yes.
Okay.
You got
Okay.
a job to do.
And wait.
Another day goes by.
Oh no.
You're kind of in this strange fog that just continues on, like a fog of your own head, not the fog outside. The next day, you kind of repeat very much a similar thing. You stoke the fire, you look after some basic chores for the place. You're served a wonderful meal once more. Venison. And then another test.
Could I impassion this test out of curiosity?
Potentially. I think you need to be within... let's see, you did pass the chase roll last time, even though you got beat. So yes. I think you're kind of, all of a sudden, you're kind of like, wait a minute, there's something I'm supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
But even that's sort of like... Yeah.
I think in this case, I think it's just the memories of the last vision he experienced of the fallen Pendragon reminds him that he has a duty and he has an oath to fulfill. So I'd like to roll homage Pendragon.
Okay. Absolutely.
Success. So
Okay.
+5. Jesus Christ.
Wait, that's impossible, isn't it?
No,
Um,
it is. It is.
no, it's
his
right.
chaste was 11.
Yeah.
So
Trace is
the-
11,
Right.
so it comes 16.
Yeah.
I just rolled like shit.
This lady is very attractive, and I don't think she can fumble.
She can't fumble, but I don't think she can fail this. As long as he rolls a 3. Yeah.
Yeah.
Critical.
6. Well, we wouldn't know that. And then
I don't know. I don't know how many days. I don't fucking know.
A number of days go by, the same sequence, the same routine. You're starting to develop almost this like, is it an amour? It's hard to say.
Mm-hmm.
I think with the fact that you passed the last chase, as you sort of have this realization several days later, I need to know whether or not Florence has any active amours.
He does. He has a more Lady Ellen, but it hasn't been activated yet, technically. He has it on his sheet, but he hasn't quite reconciled those feelings yet, so he can't call upon it.
Do you think this is a time where that might change the memory of Ellen?
I think so. Honestly, I'd say give it a roll and see if it activates or not.
Okay.
And if it
Let's
doesn't activate, it's probably not there anymore.
give it. Or at least it's sidelined for now.
Yeah. So success.
Is this good or bad for us? I can't tell.
I don't know yet. I'm a little concerned, I'm gonna be honest.
I want Florence safe, but also
I mean, he's pretty safe here. He's, if anything, the safest he can be.
Okay. Why don't you go ahead and give me your roll, your chase roll?
All right, chase roll with +5.
Yes, please.
Oh, it's higher. Jesus. Get it? Oh, that was close.
It was very close. One sec. Okay. You realize now that you have a sense that this isn't quite right. When you go out to chop wood, all of a sudden you feel more tired. It's like your energy is being taken from you. You feel really fatigued, and like you wake up for moments, and then it's almost like you're back in a trance again. Do you have any fairy lore?
5. Nope, that's folklore. No, that was very low. It's hiding from me. I have it at 1, so no, not really.
Okay. Roll me a d10 at this point.
All right. 3.
Okay, and roll me 2d100.
All right. 80 and 68.
I gotta remember what that word means. One sec.
To excavate one's bowels rapidly.
Yes.
Oh, that's right.
That's right. Yeah. Perfect. That's exactly what I need.
Sudden diarrhea.
You have this sudden vision. Oh, I know exactly what this is. You find yourself by that fire again. And you see the Lady Morgan. Florence?
Lady Morgan.
There's something wrong with you.
I can't leave.
No.
And I don't know why. What was I doing here? Why am I in front of this fire?
You have a spell upon you, Florence.
Spell. I think he looks at his hand where like the burn mark is.
As you look at your hands, you notice that you notice you see way more detail in your hand than you're used to. Like you were incredibly dehydrated. It sort of like stirs you a bit to see that.
Mm-hmm. I need to leave, but I can't. How do I break this spell that's been put upon me?
She like looks at you, and you can tell it's almost like she's looking through you. You've seen this before with her. He says, there's like a look of recognition in her eyes. You're under the spell of a succubus.
Demon.
It will consume you until you're nothing more than a corpse.
I think then he looks to the fire. How does one break the spell of a succubus? Of a foul demon?
You need to flee it as soon as possible.
I think with that he looks to the fire. Well, I hope this will wake me up from the dream, from the nightmare. Thank you for telling me this, Morgan. I will do what I can to survive this encounter. I know this is going to hurt. And once again, he is going to reach out to put his hand in the fire.
Okay. Give me a dex roll -10.
Alright. Could I impassion myself for this?
I don't think so. I don't think you need to.
Oh, this is probably a resistance.
Hey, it's just Plasma. Welcome in, friend.
Welcome.
Welcome.
My character is currently lighting himself on fire with joy.
Again.
You feel the burn of the fire, and immediately as you feel it and it stings, you wake up again. You fall over. You're outside. This happened to you while you were cutting wood because you were almost in a trance. It's like you're dream walking as you go through this. And as you like stumble over something, it's like a mound. You see fingertips, bone. It's protruding from the mound that you just fell over. The mound's big. Like, this is probably more than one body that's buried here.
Mm-hmm.
You imagine her previous victims.
Yeah. I think with that,
Go ahead.
God,
Go ahead.
push himself to his feet, holding the axe in his hand. And he'd take a deep breath, and he'd press it into his palm so that he has the pain to kind of hold him out of whatever trance was holding him, giving him something to concentrate onto. The blood spills forth.
All right. You feel the pain digs into your wound, your burn, keeps you with it. You hear her call from the cabin. Sir Florence? Sir Florence, are you coming? Her voice sounds different to you now.
Mm-hmm.
It was beautiful and sing-song-like. Now it sounds sort of wretched.
I think at this point Florence is going to draw his sword. Actually, no, he'd draw his spear.
Okay.
Specifically with the hand that he's cut, so the blood kind of spills down it.
Yeah. What then, sir?
I think we're going to make a roll to determine his next action.
Florence, I
Because
want you to keep it
here's
so
my
much.
thought. Yeah, it's the whole like. There's part of him that's like, I need to make sure that this doesn't happen to anyone ever again. And then there's the other part of him that's like, I need to survive. If I don't get out of here and I go under the spell, that's it. That's
Prudent
the end.
versus Valorous.
We'll do Prudent versus Valorous. Prudent is a success. Valorous is a failure.
Ooh.
This is actually probably the best outcome.
You know where your horse is.
What was that?
You know where your horse is. I'm gonna assume you don't have your armor on though, so you'll be leaving that behind.
Yep. So he'd run to grab his horse, and then ride off into the fog.
All right. Well, you survived the succubus. You, sir, have 13 fatigue damage from her. It's a magical damage.
Ouch.
And then make this one easy. A 1 from the burn wound you gave yourself.
Yeah.
Which is like a
That puts him
glamour
at
burn.
currently 12 hit points.
Okay. What's your unconscious?
7. So it's not far away.
None of that was over time. I was rolling and adding up. That's that 13 up there.
Yeah.
It was like multiple times of you failing your chase and her draining your life. All right. You are free of what would be a threat. And as you ride back into the fog, you see an opening once more. You ride for what looks like, or what feels like maybe an hour or two. As the fog opens, you see what looks like a little bit of a camp, like a formal camp. And you see one banner within the camp. Give me a heraldry roll.
Let's go. Success.
You find the banner of King Cadwy.
Alright. I think with that, he rides over towards the camp.
And with that, I think we're going to go ahead and wrap for the night. I don't want to keep people too... all right, guys. Fantastic vignettes. I really enjoyed tonight. Hope you all had fun.
Very good session.
Yeah.
Yes, very much so.
Let's go ahead and do some outros. We're going to start with you, Thomas.
Hello and goodbye. I have been Thomas, and will continue to be so, but for the duration of this session, I was Marshal Edrich, who've been knocked out by one of the very few swords people who are better than him. It was just one higher, and he had some advantages too. But I'm glad I remain alive, and it's been a wonderful session, and it's been good playing with you all, as always.
Been playing with you guys as well. Mark.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't see you there. I was just checking out our handy-dandy Discord. By the way, did you know we have a Discord? Come check us out. Lots of fun things on there, such as shitposting and memes, as well as notifications on whenever we go live, and new projects that we are doing. I have been Mark, aka The Cat's Meow, and I actually do some stuff on my own Twitch channel, where I run 2 big vampire games. One is my Isle of the Dan game that is set at 6:30 AEST, so that's Australian time, 6:30 p.m. On Tuesday. And for the Americans, it's a very early time, but can watch if you can. That'd be great. And of course, I'm also recently just started my House of Tremere game, which runs at I believe 9 p.m.
8
EST?
8
p.m. 8 p.m. EST.
Yep.
That's right, because of daylight savings. But yes, yes, and there's some familiar faces on there on both sides of that equator. I hope you've enjoyed Florence's attempt to survive facing down some horrible threats. And yeah, I had a lot of fun. That's
awesome.
me.
and Liam.
Hi, everybody. I'm Liam. I played Sir Virgil of Durnford / Devices, the undisputed Baron of Devices. I have a wonderful time with this game every single time, and I'm really glad that I have adopted our Count, our Earl, unofficially. No, I think one of the coolest things about this game is seeing how little things continue to evolve over years of gameplay. You never get that in other games, so very excited to see where this continues to go. But for now, farewell.
Awesome. All right, and I'm Bob. We do a lot of Pendragon here. And taking time, Bob. We have 3 regular ongoing shows. We have this on Sundays. We have a game set in Summerland, where Florence is currently, on Tuesdays, and then we have a game for Nanteleod's Legacy on Fridays. All these games are set in the same world, and they roam around and kind of affect each other and have a lot of the same cast that goes back and forth. So if you're interested, check those out. We also do some community drop-in Pendragon, which hopefully will happen. Maybe not this week, maybe next week. We'll finally get that Thursday off the ground, but we got the crew together and there's some stuff happening there. We also have 2 other mini campaigns that are running, Anarchy in the Vale and Anarchy in Londinium. You can catch those here on Twitch or after the fact on YouTube. And yeah, I think I'll go ahead and close out there, but we do have a bit of a guest crew here. So why don't we go ahead and raid out to somebody. I'm just going to quickly check my usuals and see if anyone happened to be on.
Hell yeah.
Let's just see here.
While you're looking for that, should